Have you ever thought about how a single object can contain the power to reveal deep and forgotten secrets? Sometimes, a small detail can completely transform our existence, leading us to discover hidden truths and changing the course of our lives. This is the story of Nina, a young gardener, and how her work led her to discover a shocking truth about her family. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories, and stay with us until the end for a plot twist that will leave you speechless. Nina was a young woman full of hope and determination. Her passion for plants led her to work as a gardener in a small residence. Every day, she transformed those neglected gardens into true paradises, thanks to her magical touch. But despite her talent, life was not easy. Her grandfather, with whom she had grown up, was ill, and the medical expenses were unsustainable. So she decided to look for work in the city, hoping to find better opportunities. After weeks of exhausting searches, Nina found a job in a beautiful villa, managed by a rich and mysterious man, Eduardo. The gardens of the villa were vast but neglected, offering Nina the perfect field to demonstrate her skills. Every day, Nina worked tirelessly, slowly transforming the landscape. The plants under her care flourished, the flowers bloomed in bright colors, and the bushes took on harmonious shapes. The employees of the villa noticed the change and praised Nina's work. Even Eduardo, the owner, began to pay attention. One day, while he was watching Nina work, he noticed something peculiar: a bracelet that Nina never took off, not even during the tiring hours of work. That bracelet seemed strangely familiar to him. Eduardo couldn't believe his eyes. He decided to investigate and asked Nina to tell him more about her life. Nina, initially confused and a little nervous, felt at ease with Eduardo, who explained to her the importance of that bracelet. With a trembling voice, she explained that the bracelet was a gift from her mother, Laura, who lived in the countryside. Eduardo felt a wave of emotion overwhelm him. Could it be possible that Laura was still alive? And if so, why had she never returned to him? Nina, seeing the intensity of Eduardo's reaction, began to understand that behind that bracelet, there was a much bigger story than she had ever imagined. Eduardo, his heart pounding, told Nina his side of the story. Years before, he and Laura had been in love and had planned a life together. For Laura's birthday, Eduardo had given her a special bracelet, a symbol of their eternal love. However, shortly afterward, Laura had disappeared without a trace. Eduardo had searched for her everywhere, without ever finding an answer. Now, seeing that bracelet on Nina's wrist, he felt that all his questions could finally be answered. Feeling the need for answers, Nina found herself torn between curiosity and fear of discovering something that could upset her life, and that of her mother. However, she decided to trust Eduardo, and together they planned a trip to Laura's hometown to discover the truth. Stay with us until the end to find out how this incredible story unfolds. Leave a comment below about what you would do if you discovered a similar secret about your family. Determined to find the truth, Eduardo and Nina planned a trip to Laura's hometown. When they arrived, Nina guided Eduardo through the streets of the small village to her mother's house. During the trip, Nina couldn't help but think about how this could change her life. She could feel her heart beating fast as they approached the house. Laura, seeing Edward at the door, was petrified. "Edward," she murmured, "I can't believe it." Edward, his voice trembling, replied, "Is it really you?" Why didn't you ever come back?" Laura explained that, years before, she had become pregnant with Nina and, frightened by the consequences, had decided to return to her parents in the countryside. Her father, fearing that Eduardo would not accept the situation, had advised her to stay there and disappear. "I just wanted to protect Nina," Laura said through tears. Eduardo, shocked but determined to rebuild their family, proposed that Laura and Nina return to live with him in the villa. The transition was not easy, but together they managed to overcome the difficulties. Eduardo devoted himself to getting to know Nina and building a relationship with Laura. In the meantime, Nina continued to transform the gardens of the villa, finding in that work a source of joy and satisfaction. The bond between Eduardo and Laura strengthened every day more, and Nina also finally found the father she had always wanted. Before continuing, we invite you to like and subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying this story. Your support helps us to create better and better content. One day, during a family dinner, Eduardo proposed to Laura, "Will you marry me and give me the chance to be the husband and father I've always wanted to be?" Laura, with tears in her eyes, accepted. The villa, once a place of solitude for Eduardo, became a home filled with love and laughter. The ceremony was simple but full of emotion, and the gardens, lovingly tended by Nina, were the perfect backdrop to celebrate their new beginning. As the months passed, the family grew closer. Edward taught Nina everything he knew about business, preparing her for a promising future. Laura rediscovered her inner strength and contributed to the harmony of the home. The gardens blossomed like never before, reflecting the new life and hope they had found. Eventually, Eduardo, Laura, and Nina understood that despite the distances and time that had passed, true love and determination can transform and heal. The villa had become a real home, where every day was a celebration of love, unity, and hope for the future. And so, in the end, Nina understood that sometimes the most painful secrets can lead to the greatest happiness. And you, imagine what secret could transform your life. Reflect on this and remember that, even in the most difficult situations, there is always a hidden hope ready to bloom. Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow with another video.